So objective of session is going to be testing tools, interview questions. So we'll be conducting series of sessions on so let me give a little introduction. People outside of Quality Thought. So my name is Ramna. I'm the founder of Quality Thought Technologies. We are giving software testing training since last 10 years. Okay, so this is I have 15 years of testing experience. I worked in Accenture for more than a decade and a few other companies as well. So this is a quick introduction about myself. And so let me start testing tools interview questions. So we have the plans to conduct so earlier we used it to, before COVID, we used it to conduct so testing tools interview questions and answers very frequently. But due to COVID, even like you, we are also not that active because of so it is, we thought of conducting a face-to-face discussion, but it's not happened and the series is going on. So I thought of so restarting all the sessions which we conducted before COVID. So one important session is testing tools, interview questions and answers. As part of this series, we'll be conducting manual testing, interview questions and answers, and automation testing. So that is Selenium interview questions and answers, API testing interview questions and answers, API testing interview questions and answers, and ETL testing interview questions and answers. So ETL testing or database testing, ETL testing interview questions and answers. So this series of sessions we are conducting, anyone can join. You can refer your friends also. There is no restriction on this. And but there are some prerequisites. If everyone may not understand these things, the prerequisite is, so you must have completed your course in any institute. So you must have completed your course in any institute. So may not be in Quality Thought or iHub. You might have completed course in any institute. So prerequisite is based. Let's say if you are attending Selenium interview question session, you need to have the basic knowledge on Selenium. So the objective of interview question session is not to teach entire topic once again. So this is to explain you, if you attend the interview, how to answer that question. There is a lot of difference. For example, see, course means we will be teaching you everything more in depth. Here, we will be explaining you more interview point of view. So the basic knowledge on, people who has basic knowledge on manual testing, they only can understand. So they only can understand what I'm going to teach here. So they only can understand what I'm going to teach. That is the main prerequisite. You may be from any institute, you completed the course anywhere in India, it's okay. So only thing, the prerequisite basic knowledge on prior manual testing. So we have plans to conduct more sessions, advanced testing. Okay, so advanced testing topics, more project testing topics. So we have plans, we have the roadmap to conduct so more topics. So today I can say, so we restarted post COVID, the series of special classes which we used to conduct earlier. Right. So basic knowledge on manual testing, guys. Prerequisite basic knowledge on manual testing. So if you are new to manual testing, this session, you are not able to understand, myself or Quality Thought is not responsible for that. Okay. So now let me with this introduction, I'm going to start the first interview question. Okay. So interview question 1. Tell me, as a tester, tell me how you decide when to stop writing test cases. Or the same question can be asked like this: as a tester, the test cases, are these test cases enough? Okay, so as a tester, are these test cases enough? Okay, so how you decide this, guys? How you decide? So any answers? You can self-mute yourself and you can provide answers. Later I will provide my answer.
If all users stories met acceptance criteria, then we conclude the test cases will stop.
How do you know that? See,
all acceptance criteria met the
Lakshmi,
user
all the user stories, all the
met acceptance criteria.
Met acceptance criteria, then we can stop testing.
Then we conclude.
No, we conclude testing. But
Yeah.
my question is different. Well try, Lakshmi. So well try. But answer is little. We have to improve. So if all the user stories met acceptance criteria, then we conclude testing. My question is little different. When you stop testing, if I ask a question, when you stop testing,
Okay.
so then your answer is correct.
Okay.
Okay. So then your answer is correct. But this is the reason, guys. Please express your answer. This interview question and answer, it is not like a only lecture I am giving. I wanted to collaborate with you. You have to answer. Okay. So, I mean, this should be an interactive session. If again I start teaching like, you rent a course in any institute, it will be like, so the same kind of thing. I don't want to replicate the same lecture model. So, Lakshmi, well tried. I really appreciate. Okay. So, but your answer is, you have answered this question. My question is little different.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So others, any one more answer? When we stop writing the test cases, you can speak out. No chart.
Yeah. Hi. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, my name is Venkat. Like when we stop writing test cases, like when we feel that when we have covered all the scenarios.
Okay, wonderful. Venkat, just a second. When you covered all the scenarios.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you stop writing the test cases, when we covered all the scenarios, how you know that? That is my question.
So like scenarios means like covering all the functionalities.
Okay. When you created all the scenarios, you stop writing the test cases.
Yes.
So when you created scenarios for all the functionalities, you stop testing. When you created scenarios for all the functionalities, you stopped test case writing. But my question is, how you know that? Question is very clear. How you know when to stop writing the test cases? So you answered when you created scenarios for all the functionalities. How you know either you created scenarios for all the functionalities or not? How you know either you created scenarios for all the user stories, I mean all the functionalities or not? How you know? There should be logic, right? How you decide what is that logic behind it?
Yeah, by verifying the functional document.
By verifying
the functional document.
Okay, so you close to answer. I appreciate your answer, Venkat. So by verifying functional document. Okay, so by verifying functional document, any other answers?
Hi, sir. This is Veerababu.
Wonderful. Veerababu, please answer.
By checking requirement traceable matrix document.
Okay. Where are you checking? Okay. How you see? Can you give an example, Veerababu? So by checking requirement traceability matrix is the answer from Veerababu. So can you explain, elaborate this?
Yeah, we will fill all in RTM, which are scenarios by test cases. We will map that.
Okay.
We'll map to, we have written all functionalities are not for test cases, for functionalities test cases.
Okay.
Once it is fulfilled, is completed, we know all test cases are completed for particular functionality. So
Okay.
we'll go for executing.
Okay.
Once it is approval, we'll go for execution.
No. So like one step back.
Okay.
So we updated RTM.
Okay.
So how are from, I mean, you have updated RTM, but how you know updating RTM, how updating RTM helpful to know when to stop writing the test case.
Okay.
Your answer is correct, but I need justification. Okay, well try Veerababu. Okay, and well try Venkat and Lakshmi. Like, all three are going definitely having good future. Okay, so I appreciate your answers. Right. So now I'll give you answer. Like, most of your answers are correct. I wanted to give a little more explanation. So little more explanation. Okay. Number one. Okay. First of all. Okay. So ensure we have created at least one test case. Okay, ensure we have created at least one test case. At least one test case for each requirement. So ensure we have created at least one test case for each requirement. Ensure we have created at least one test case for each requirement. How we know that? So how we know that? Either in Jira tool or in any tool or in Excel sheet. So generally you update requirement traceability matrix. So what is requirement traceability matrix? What is requirement traceability matrix? So requirement traceability matrix means, so RTM, requirement traceability matrix means, I'll insert a table. Okay. So I have like one requirement. So I have 2-3 requirements in my project. Let's say, take an example, simple example. I have 5 requirements. Okay. So I have 5 requirements. So if you have 5 requirements, okay, for example, so for requirement 1, we have created 2 test cases, scenarios or test cases, whatever the naming convention you follow. Here we created so 3 test cases. Here we created so 3 test cases. For example, here we created 1 test case. This requirement is so complex requirement. We created more test cases. We created more test cases. So here we created more test cases. So this is our current state. Okay. So let's say I have one, just I go with R6. We have 6 requirements. Okay, 6 requirements, and we created 15 test cases. Now tell me, now very simple. Can we stop writing the test cases now? Can we stop creating test cases? Or can we give test case design sign off? Can we give test case design sign off? So can we stop creating the test cases? Can we give test case design sign off?
No, R6 is still pending.
Yeah, so R6 is still pending. Understand, it's very simple, guys. Understanding the logic. So R6 is still pending. So out of 6 requirements, only 1 requirement, 5 requirements has at least 1 test cases, So out of 6 requirements, 5 requirements has at least 1 test case. Okay. So now I can say out of 6 requirements, 5 requirements has the test cases. So what is the test case design percentage? What is the test case design percentage? How you calculate that? 5 by 6 into 100. So 5 by 6 into 100. So 5 out of 6 requirements, 5 requirements has the test cases. 5 by 6 into 100. So it is not 100%, right? So less than 100%. So we cannot stop writing the test cases. So this is an orphan requirement. R6 is an orphan requirement. No one is going to test it because there is no test linked to it. If your client is lucky and your QA team is lucky, it might cover in ad hoc testing. Okay, so otherwise there is a high chance that R6 may work or may fail in production. So this is a dangerous scenario. So this is a dangerous scenario. So this is a dangerous scenario. So test case, so test case design. So out of 6 requirements, 5 requirements has at least 1 test case. Okay, so this is definitely a dangerous scenario. Okay, so this is one method. But second, this is just a part of the answer. RTM helpful. In addition to this, now I can ask a question. So for R1, how many test cases we created? 2 test cases. Are these enough? So are these 2 test cases enough for R1? May not, how we know? So first check your RTM, that is step 1. Second, review the test cases. Venkat told verify, the right word review. Verify and review both are same. Review test cases which we created. Have a walkthrough. Okay, R1 is like complex requirement. Why 2 test cases? R1 is so complex requirement. R1 is so complex requirement than R5. R1 is so complex requirement than R5. Okay, so R1 is so complex requirement than R5, but still R5 has 6 test cases and R1 has only 2 test cases. Why? So why R1 has only 2 test cases? So why R1 has 2 test cases? Okay, so review test cases which we have created. Review the test cases which we have created. So RTM, only RTM may not provide sufficient information to this question. Only RTM may not provide sufficient information to this question. RTM plus review the test cases which we have created. Okay, so RTM will give you some information, and so 2 steps. Answer is 2 steps. 1, we will come to know how many requirements has at least 1 test case with RTM. So how many requirements has at least 1 test case with RTM, and the given written test cases are correct or are enough or not, complete or not. Are those test cases complete or not? Again, we have to review. So the answer is RTM and test case review helpful for us. RTM and test case review helpful for us to know whether we created enough test cases or not. And so this you have to answer. But many people who are attending interview, especially with experience, they are failed to answer this level of thing. So that is the reason they are not selecting you in interview and they are not trusting you as you are a real-time person. So everyone convinced with this logic, or if you have any questions on this, please let me know.
Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah, it's clear.
Thank you. Right, let's move on to second question of the day. So let's move on to second question of the day. Okay, so second question is, so let's say, tell me what are the challenges you have faced? What are the challenges you have faced as a tester? As a test engineer, tell me what are the challenges you have faced as a tester in your current project? So what are the challenges you have faced as a tester in your current project? So open to answers. So I am not going to see chat. You have to interact with me. You have to speak out. You have to interact with me. You have to speak out. So tell me what are the challenges you have faced as a test engineer in your current project? So what are the challenges you have faced as a test engineer in your current project?
The first one is time constraint.
What is your name?
My name is Venkat.
Venkat.
Yeah, Mostly time constraint.
Okay. So Venkat answered time constraint. Any other answers? Tell me what are the challenges you have faced as a tester in your current project? So what are the challenges you have faced as a tester in your current project? So tell me the answer.
This is Jyotirmayi.
Okay.
Requirements ambiguity.
So can you give an example, Jyotirmayi?
Requirements are not clear, whatever clients provided by the user.
Okay. So can you give an example from your current project? So requirement ambiguity is answer like Jyotirmayi. Okay. So any other answers? So tell me what are the challenges you have faced as a tester in your current project? See, most of the interview discussion happens on challenges, what are the problems you are facing, how you overcome that. So can you give examples from your current project? What are the issues in the project, challenges, achievements, risks? What is your future roadmap? Can you give examples from project? So they try to see, their intention is very simple. So are you learning the course? Are you really implementing any project? If interviewer got a feel that you are just like learning the course or answering very basic level answers, they won't select you. So what are the challenges you have faced as a tester in your current project? So this is definitely so inadequate information on user stories. Okay. So having information on user story is not a challenge basically. That is the nature of Agile project. User stories are simple in nature, but I'm writing here. Inadequate information. So we have answer from Veera Babu, which test cases should exclude first. Lenin Babu, client changing requirements frequently. So 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 time constraint, requirements ambiguity, so client changing requirements frequently. These are the few answers. Okay. See, there are different challenges so which we face. So your answers are correct. I appreciate it. But you need to explain the scenario behind it. See, time constraint, a direct answer see, time constraint is a challenge for everything in the world. Okay, so yesterday Amit Shah has come to Hyderabad. He wants to spend more time. Okay, so every vaccine someone has developing, they want more time. Time constraint is a problem for anything in the world. So time constraint is very generic statement you have provided. So we need to give examples, supporting examples from your live project, supporting examples from your live project to prove your answer. So this is, see, if any if you attend any interview, if we fail to give more and more supporting examples from the live project, then it is a big trouble. Okay, then definitely they won't select you. Okay, so so requirement ambiguity for everything. See, majority of the problems see, even in your personal life also, problem comes with requirement ambiguity. You want to go MS, but your parents ask you to join job. Ambiguity in the requirement. You want to join BTech computers, but they joined you BTech electrical. So always requirement ambiguity is also a very generic statement. So you have you want to buy Apple laptop, but your parents has given money only for Dell laptop. So there will be always ambiguity in requirements. So, I mean, yes, your answers are correct. I'm not denying it. Don't take in a negative way. So, but if you fail to give supporting examples, guys, this is the main reason. So, like, when I was in my previous organization, I took hundreds of interviews in the hiring process. But most of the people, 9 out of 10 people which we take interview, at least 8 people, they don't have fundamental knowledge, and they're not able to give examples. They don't have the fundamental concept level knowledge itself. They're not logically thinking about the situation. Okay, right. So, few
Sir,
challenges.
regression testing is a more challenge.
Can you give an example why regression testing is more challenge?
Yeah, to handle previous functionality changes and current functionality changes and bug
Who is this?
tracking.
Who is this?
Madhusudan.
Madhusudan. So, according to Madhusudan, regression testing is a challenge. Now, Madhusudan is giving explanation. Yes, Madhusudan, please continue.
Yeah, at a time to handle previous functionality changes and current functionality changes is a more challenge.
So,
and bug tracking also.
See, for regression testing, client will be giving time, client will be paying money, right? Then why it will become a challenge? Can you give any example from your current project? Okay. So bug tracking, why bug tracking is a challenge? Okay. Right. So yes, that's what I'm telling. Like, you know the answer. I know that. Every one of you know the answer. But the problem is with supporting examples. So time constraint, requirements, ambiguity, advocate. So these are the few answers given from you. So I'll tell you, my answer. So there are, I can categorize. So generally, what kind of challenges we will receive. I can categorize. So what kind of challenges we will receive? I can categorize. Number one. So challenges from requirements. 2, challenges due to lack of time, as you told. Just I'm going to add examples. Challenges with the people issues. Challenges with infrastructure. So challenges we have faced with the dev team. Like that, there are different segments. One is like that. There are different segments. One is okay. So there are different segments. One is challenges with based on the requirements. So so number one, requirements changing after writing test cases. Requirements are changing after writing test cases. Two, so requirements as someone told here, are ambiguous. Only thing I'm going to add examples, guys. Your answers are correct. That's what I told. But the same confidence you have to show while answering, while answering an interview. Okay. So requirements are ambiguous. So requirements provided are not clear. Delay in clarifying the requirements. Delay in clarifying the requirements. So requirements are changing after writing the test cases. Requirements are ambiguous. Requirements provided are not clear. Delay in clarifying the requirements. Requirements are updated. But not communicated to QA team. Requirements are updated but not communicated to QA team. Requirements are updated but not communicated to QA team. So QA team is writing test cases. QA team testing on old requirements. Dev team is creating code on updated requirements. Dev team creating code on updated requirements. Dev team creating code on updating requirements. So these kind of problems, like we face with challenges from requirements, and the second one, so challenges due to time. First let's complete this segment. So what we have to do, so are no requirements provided, but asking QA team to do testing. No requirements provided, but asking QA team to testing. So, but no requirements provided, but asking QA team to testing. Okay, so go through. I mean, if you are the for example, no requirements provided, but asking QA team to testing, what you have to do? So requirements are changing even after writing the test cases. So this is a challenge. Definitely, this is a problematic scenario. So challenge means it's a problematic scenario. So how you overcome this scenario? So this is a challenge. This is definitely a problematic scenario. So how you overcome this scenario? So this is challenge. This is definitely a problematic scenario. So how you overcome this scenario? So let's discuss each scenario. So these are nothing but scenarios we discuss in our part of the course or project. So requirements are changing even after writing the test cases. So what happens because of this? This leads to rework in the test cases. So this leads to rework in the test cases. So this leads to rework in the test cases. So this leads to rework in the test cases. So this scenario leads to rework in the test cases. So rework of test cases. So how to minimize, this rework of test cases. So what is the problem with rework of test cases? So this leads to rework of test cases. So what is the problem with rework of test cases? So it requires extra time from the QA team. Okay, so whenever the requirements are given and we have written already test cases, but now client is changing the requirements. So what QA team is supposed to do now? Okay, so whenever in such kind of scenario, whenever we get a change request or a requirement, so whenever you get a change request, okay, so first QA team has to impact analysis. Because of this change in requirement, or we call it as a change request, how many existing test cases, how many created test cases are going to be affected? How many existing test cases are going to be affected? Okay, so because of this, how much additional time we require? So if we need more time, then inform to your client, inform to your management client in advance, saying that, so this is extra time, okay, so we need, if client says, okay, so it's a change important and we are not going to extend the release deadline also. If client says it's a change you have to do, then what we will take, in practically what we have done, so we took permission to do ad hoc testing, because again rewriting the test cases will take a lot of time. But see, client has only two options here. One, client has to extend the deadline. If client is not ready to extend the deadline, then so what we can do, at least take permission. If client is not ready to extend the deadline, at least to take permission to do ad hoc testing temporarily, without writing test cases temporarily. Later, whenever we get time, we add test cases. Okay, so we add test cases, but this is a risk actually. The risk is we are testing without test cases. If client is okay to take, because the problem comes from the client side. If client is okay to take this risk, if client is okay to take this risk. If client is okay to take this risk, then only so we will accept. I mean, this is one solution. So what generally in one of my recent project, I wanted to tell one of my recent project. So I'm working on one of the project called like a insurance project. Suddenly client added a functionality called underwriting rules. So this functionality initially it was not there. Okay, so initially it functionality was there with a different concept, but client realized it at last minute client has done some changes. So now when we started analyzing impact of this change, underwriting rules change, there were nearly 100 test cases impacted. So already we are running short of time because of many reasons, and so rework on 100 test cases practically impossible. So what we have done now, so we took permission to do ad hoc testing for time being based on the requirements or test scenarios. Later we added the test cases. This is one solution we followed. See, so immediately how can we do automation? So implement automation scripts may not be the right answer here. So I'm trying to give what we have done. So there was a major change which we recently, so for underwriting functionality, we already written the test cases. Now underwriting rules are modified. So now underwriting rules are modified. So whenever underwriting rules are modified, then so we realized okay, so something is wrong, so then we discussed with the client. We informed clearly to client, boss, this is a risk. But there is no other option. If you okay, either you extend the deadline, give us 2 more days for QA work, because we need to rework on our test cases, existing test cases, or give permission at least to do ad hoc testing. So majority of the testing we complete. Later, after the post release, whenever we get some time, we will write the test cases. And slowly we try to build automation scripts also to save the time. But developing automation scripts is a long-term roadmap. We may not do it immediately. So like this, there are 100 challenges I can explain to you. So few challenges based on the requirements, few challenges based on the lack of time, people issues, infrastructure, dev team. So delay in so delay in build development. What you will do? Delay in build development. Deployment failed. Smoke testing issue. Deployment frequently failing. Defect fix is delayed. High defect fail rate. So actually defect fail rate should decrease slowly. First release, first cycle of testing, first round of testing. So there could be more defects. Slowly, defect fail rate should decrease. So, but here defect fail rate is defect fail rate is increasing. So day by day testing if you're continuing with the testing, application stability should increase and defect fail rate should decrease. But in one project in a reverse order it is happening. Application stability decreasing, defect fail rate increasing. Okay, so like that, people issues QA team, one QA team member is not coming to office regularly. So QA team member, there are so many issues, guys. So I strongly believe, if the students prepare interview questions correctly, you can easily clear the interview. So we are from Quality Thought, we are from Quality Thought, and I'll show you, so I created, we gathered interview questions from our students. So you can go to our website. So once you go to the website, there is a resources section. I'll show you now. So we're from Quality Thought, and there are some resources section. Okay, so here interview questions. So testing tools and RPA testing tools interview questions. Just you click on these interview questions. So you click on these interview questions. You have the interview questions for manual testing, Selenium, web services testing, ETL testing, RPA, UiPath. So go through these interview questions. Try to answer those interview questions. Okay. So this may be helpful to you. So you can download this from Quality Thought website. And so this is my mail ID. So ramana@qualitythought.in. So if you need like any further assistance, I will be with you. Like I'll be continuing this series of sessions, and and we have our YouTube channel called Learning Thoughts. Okay, so you can join. I mean, you can see few testing videos. I try to post these videos also. Okay, so that you can refer those things. So Quality Thought is our training institute, and Learning Thoughts is our YouTube channel. So you can so you can go with Learning Thoughts YouTube channel. So Learning Thoughts is this is our YouTube channel. Okay, so in this Learning Thoughts YouTube channel, you have the various playlists. So you can see Agile playlist we created, Jira playlist we created, and I'll be adding testing tools playlist also with interview questions and answers. You can access these videos in Learning Thoughts YouTube channel is a free of cost. So you need not to so pay single rupee. So access those videos in our YouTube channel and interact with me through live sessions. So I am conducting these sessions for your help only. So there is no commercial angle, or there is nothing I'm going to gain here. So for me, delivering testing sessions or Agile sessions is my passion. So I wanted to deliver these sessions at any point of time. So you may not be my student. You may join, may not join my institute. So if you have any questions on testing tools or Agile, so ramana@qualitythought.in is my mail ID. Okay. So as I told, I try to help you. I try to understand your profile also. So after a couple of interview question session, why I'm asking you, I can provide you videos also. Like videos means YouTube channel, like directly you can access there. So no need to separately send videos. But okay, so that is from my side. Any questions, please let me know. Otherwise we can sign off.
Thanks for watching. For more videos, subscribe our channel and click on bell icon.